What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Pokeflame Forever. Today we are going to go over top 10 Pokemon that will most likely not be in Sword and Shield, or I don't think they should be in Sword and Shield. Kind of a mix of both. And most people probably know by now that they are cutting probably a lot of Pokemon from Sword and Shield because they're not going to have the National Pokédex. So you can't get all over 1,000 Pokemon once they release the rest of the Pokemon from the Galar region. So we'll start off with number 10. Now, I don't want them to cut this Pokemon, but I know they most likely will cut a lot of legendary Pokemon, like Rayquaza, because Rayquaza on this list mainly because it is a very overly powerful Pokemon, and it's kind of unfair to have in the game. So I feel like they're going to cut it just to make it more of a even and fair game. So you can't just like transfer a really low level Rayquaza that you hacked into some other game and then easily sweep everything. It's just, they're probably going to have to cut it because it's going to lose its Mega Form, and it is really overpowered. They banned Rayquaza from tournaments because it could Mega Evolve without a Mega Stone and was very overpowered. So I feel like they are definitely going to get rid of Rayquaza and some other legendary Pokemon. So let's move on to number 9. Alright, and for number 9, I chose all the Reggies: Regigigas, Registeel, Regice, and Regirock. I think most likely they will for sure cut Regigigas because its horrible ability Slow Start, which makes it impossible to use because you have to wait like 5 or 7 turns or something until you can attack. And it made it really an impossible Pokemon to use, and I don't think that any of the Reggies are too popular or too important to keep, and they would just take up too many slots for where other Pokemon could go, so it wouldn't make much sense to keep them. Also, they are also legendary Pokemon. A lot of legendary Pokemon are going to get cut for sure, because they can't have every legendary Pokemon and all normal Pokemon. I believe that they will keep some of the favorite legendary Pokemon that you can get after you beat the Elite Four or something, as a special, like, after the game thing you can do. But they will probably cut all the Reggies, since they are not well-liked Pokemon or very popular ones in my opinion. So let's move on to number 8. Pansage, Pansear, Pampor. I hope I said all those right. Mainly because they're not well-liked. I know that not many people like them. They are a neat trio of Pokemon, Grass, Water, and Fire, that aren't starters. That's not a very common thing that they do, to have 3 Pokemon that aren't starters that are the same type as the starters that go together. And they are neat Pokemon, but I really feel that they are not going to be in the games because they aren't really popular in my opinion, and I don't really care about them that much. So I mean, they're lower on this list because I don't really care either way if they're in it or not. It won't really affect me much, but yeah, moving on to number 8. That I said number 8, I meant we're going on to number 7, and that is Heatran. Heatran is a legendary Pokemon that I don't understand why it's a legendary. It doesn't really meet up with all the other legendaries that well, and it is probably one of the most, if not the most, hated legendary Pokemon. And some people like it, I'm okay with that. Some people don't like it, I'm okay with that too. I don't care either way about Heatran. I just feel that it should be cut from the game because it is a less liked legendary Pokemon that could take up the spot of a more liked legendary Pokemon. Like, I feel they will definitely have Mewtwo in the game at some point for you to catch because Mewtwo is so popular. But anyways, moving on to number 6, Audino. And the main reason I picked Audino, it may have a Mega Form, but it's gonna lose that. And Audino is, to me, like a worse version of Chansey. Chansey is, okay, since most people like to use it because it can have such a high HP, and then Chansey can evolve also. Audino is kind of just a standalone Pokemon now that it's going to lose a Mega Evolution. It is really not that good of a Pokemon anymore since you can't Mega Evolve it. So it would just make sense if they would cut Audino because it's not going to be as good as Chansey and it can't Mega Evolve anymore. Unless they give it a Gigantamax form, which I doubt they will do. So, moving on to number 5. For number 5, I picked the Pokemon that are just gears and are very confusing to remember what their name is. So, like Clink, Clink Clank, Clink Clank something, gotta find it so I can say it. Clink, no wait, so it's Clang, Clink, and Clink Clang. They are very, very stupid Pokemon that just add one little thing when they evolve. So it starts out as that, it's 2 little gears, then it adds a bigger gear, and then it adds a spinning, spiky wheel of death. This Pokemon is stupid, and they should not keep it. And there are a lot of Pokemon that I could say are stupid, and they should just get rid of it. But I picked this one for one of the stupid ones that you just get rid of, that nobody likes, make no sense. So moving on to number 4. I chose Jynx because it's such a controversial Pokemon, and originally Jynx was much, much worse, and it had a black face instead of a purple face, and Pokemon changed it because people said it was racist. And Jynx still is kind of racist, so it's kind of a controversial Pokemon that they should just get rid of, forget it, leave it behind, and just move on with Pokemon that won't upset people as much as Jynx does. It's a safe bet. So moving on to number 3. Alright, for number 3, I'm gonna bet nobody disagrees with this, that they should get rid of Garbodor, the Pokemon that is literal garbage, and throws garbage, apparently. This Pokemon is terrible. They should get rid of it. End of story. Most people should agree with this. If not, I don't really care. So moving on to number 2. Number 2 is my personal opinion. It's Burmy. Burmy and its evolutions. Every Pokemon on this list, it does include its pre-evolutions and evolutions, if they have evolutions or pre-evolutions. I okay with Burmy's one of evolution, the Mothim or whatever it is, like the Moth one. That one's cool. But Burmy is stupid. I hate Burmy. If you don't know this already, just go to my top 10 least favorite Pokemon. Burmy's on that list. Nobody likes Burmy, except some weird people, because Burmy is stupid, and has poop on its head, and it's a poopy Pokemon. So I don't care, and we're gonna move on now, because I hate Burmy. Alright, now, number 1 can be one of many water-type Pokemon that they are going to have to cut, because there is way too many water-type Pokemon. I could give you a list of 10, probably more than 10 water-type Pokemon that they could cut, but I just picked one, so we'd have one number one Pokemon, so here's what it is. Finneon, it's just one of those pointless water-type Pokemon. I could also put Love-Disc here, because Love-Disc is also pointless, but, you know, don't really need that many Pokemon at number one, so I just went with Finneon. One of those pointless water-type Pokemon. It's kind of like Goldeen, they could get rid of too. Tentacool. The list goes on and on. So, if you think there's a different Pokemon that they should cut, put it in the comments down below. If there's one that you think they shouldn't cut, you can also put that in the comments. You can comment pretty much anything. I have no control over that. Yeah, so that's all for now. I'll see you guys next time.